Welcome back, Careblazer. In today's video, I want to talk about a common accusation that your loved one might be making towards you. So if you're caring for a spouse with dementia, it is possible that your spouse, your loved one with dementia, will accuse you of cheating on them, accuse you of being unfaithful. Now, this type of thing happens in relationships everywhere, whether or not dementia is involved. But I want to talk specifically for the Careblazer who is getting this constant accusation of being unfaithful. This can be very hard. It can be very distressing for your loved one. It can feel like no matter what you say, nothing's working, and it can lead to more difficult dementia behaviors. It can kind of snowball into refusing basic care tasks, refusing to eat, starting to get violent, trying to leave the house, wander away, making accusations that they're going to file for divorce, right? It just snowballs and leads to so much distress for your loved one, but also for you. And I want to give some ways that you might consider approaching this situation. Number one, by all means, because I know that you guys are all going to do this anyway, tell them that you're not. You can just say, I'm not cheating on you. I love you, and leave it at that. Now, that's not going to fix the problem, right? If this is a delusion, if you watch last week's video on delusions, it's a very common delusion for people to think that their loved one is cheating on them. And we know that arguing with it or reasoning with them, it's not going to work. But if you feel that tug, you just want to let them know, I'm not doing that, you can say that. Just know that that's not going to fix the problem. So that's number one. You can just tell them that you're not. So number two, because we know you telling them that you're not cheating is going to change anything, number two is you have to understand that no matter what, you're not going to be able to convince your loved one. Right? If you're making it your goal to convince your loved one that it's not true, you're in for a really rough battle. Your loved one, if they have a delusion like this, no matter what evidence you present to them, it's not going to change. So you just have to know on some level that your loved one's going to believe this no matter what. It's not that you're not explaining yourself correctly or that you're not presenting enough evidence. It's just that you understand this is a symptom of the disease, and regardless of what I say, it's likely that they're going to continue to believe this. So what I'm going to focus on now is like how you can deal with the behaviors and kind of make sure it doesn't lead to more and more arguments or distress in the moment. But you just have to know, even after you diffuse the situation, even after you're able to move on in the moment, this is something that's going to pop up again and again and again. So what can you do? Number one, you can tell them you're not, but already know number two, they're not going to believe it, right? You can't make it your goal to convince it. So number three is to respond to their emotion. If your loved one believes that you are cheating on them, that you don't love them, that you're having an affair on them, you want to respond to the emotion, not the words. So you want to let them know, I love you very much. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be here with you every step of the way. I'm not going to leave you, right? You could just respond to the emotion. I love you. I'm so happy to be with you. You make me smile. But you cannot just continue to provide evidence that's going to go round and round and round, and it never ends. So whenever you're in doubt with any difficult dementia symptom, but especially this symptom, respond to their emotion. And their emotion is anxiety and fear that you don't love them and that you're not going to be with them. And number four is to find your opportunity to redirect and move on. Because your goal is not to change their mind, because that's not possible, and because you know you're smarter than to get into this argument and back and forth that has no way to win, you have to find an out. You have to find an opportunity to distract and redirect. So you tell them, after you've responded to the emotion, I love you, I care about you, I'm so happy to be with you. Oh man, I'm getting kind of hungry, let's make a snack. Or whatever it is. Or, hey, it's 3:00, isn't your favorite show on? Let's put that on. Or you step out of the room, try to diffuse the situation, put on some music, whatever the case may be. You have to look for those windows where you can try to distract and move on to something entirely different. I know this is not what you want to hear, Careblazer. I know you probably wish I had something to say where you could get your loved one to stop accusing you of doing something like this, but in all reality, that's likely not a possibility. So you have to find a way to respond that does not lead to your loved one being more upset, that does not lead to your loved one getting more angry and frustrated, and does not lead to you taking on a battle that you cannot win. right? If your goal is to change your loved one's mind, you're gonna lose, right? We talked last week about how delusion is a fixed belief, a very strong belief that no matter what evidence you present to them, it does not matter. Their brain believes what it believes. So all you can do is comfort them, find a way to distract, and take that opening whenever possible. Has this ever happened to you? Do you find yourself in this position? How do you handle it? Have you noticed that when you do try to argue or when you do try to prevent evidence that what they believe is not true, that it just makes things worse? Your goal should be to move on as quickly as possible without escalating the situation. And unfortunately, that means your loved ones going to continue to have that belief. And it's going to come up again. And when it comes up again, it doesn't mean that what we just talked about doesn't work. It just means, okay, I have to put these 4 steps into work again, right? I'm so sorry you're in this position, Careblazer. I'm so sorry you have to be dealing with some of these really difficult symptoms. And I wish you all the best. I will be back next week with another video. If you have any recommendations or suggestions or questions that you want to see me answer in a future video, all you have to do is leave a comment below any of my videos. I read them all, and make sure that you hit that red subscribe button on your screen. It's completely free, and it will make sure that you don't miss any of my future videos, okay? Take care.